Now, what's really interesting about that is the investor Jeremy Grantham just went on Diary of a CEO and said that he's actually not bullish for the U.S. economy and says that emerging markets and international markets will outperform and the U.S. economy will crash. What are your thoughts
Anyway,
on that?
I totally disagree with that. And the risk reward of investing in the United States versus international, much safer, much better returns for the risk that you're taking to invest in the United States. I think the answer is really, you got to know what you're doing and you got to be thoughtful and smart. And now when I look at the landscape of all the things that I could invest in today, securities and AI and all of these things, I'm actually very excited and motivated to invest my money in these below the radar real estate opportunities that we're talking about, Main Street retail, little unanchored strip shopping centers, multifamily. But I like it to have a theme or a play, if you will. So right now I'm very excited about branded university, college housing, multifamily college housing. I like that as a play. I'm focused on that.
Jeremy Grantham, I know you're listening to this right now on YouTube Premium, because there's no way you don't pay for YouTube
As
Premium.
a member.
Come on, as a member of the Iced Coffee Hour as well, paying a few bucks a month. Come on the Iced Coffee Hour podcast to debate Richard Baker. That would be really, really, really interesting.
Incredible.
I'm there for it. Bring it on.
If you're bullish on university housing, that would suggest that you're bullish on just broader education in general.
Well, I'm bullish on the top 10 universities in the United States.
The top 10 universities.
So I wouldn't, or maybe top 20. So, by the way, I think the other universities will play out in different ways. There'll be consolidation and mergers and all kinds of things. But for a moment, I'm investing heavily at Cornell University. Cornell University has an incredible graduate program, and they're growing their applicants every year, and they're building new facilities and research. I don't have any worries about investing in a place like that.
How could you be wrong about your thesis of the United States economy over the next 10 years?
Oh, well, there's lots of, Mayor Mamdani, Mayor Mamdani could become your next president. That wouldn't be helpful. I mean, none of us know really what's going to happen in the future. But to me, I'm in the economy on a everyday basis, and it feels very strong. And all the concerns about labor, AI, people losing their jobs, still not enough labor in this country. And so I think people will have jobs and have incomes. And I stayed at a hotel last night. You could barely check in. There were so many people. In Las Vegas in July.
What's the impact that Mamdani's had in New York?
So, I've been calling it for a while, and it looks like it's happening. So the Trump story has pushed everything way to the right. So obviously the risk in the next election or in 7 years from now or 6 years, whatever it is, the risk really is it could go way left. And that would be I'm not a fan of way right, honestly, and I'm not a fan of way left. It's very unfortunate in this country we don't have any middle movement. But I think it would be terrible for our economy to have the sort of policies that our mayor in New York City has been talking about.
What are the real world implications that you have seen since he's taken office?
This tax on the pied-à-terre, the second apartments and all that. But meanwhile, I haven't seen any of my friends selling their second apartments. And, it's not tenable in the United States for people like Elon Musk to be a trillionaire and not give back to society. Forget he's a genius and we love him and he's giving back because he's so clever and is so good for the economy. But how much money did he give to charity last year? And what is he doing for people who don't have resources? And he's making a terrible mistake. So is Bezos, and so is a lot of that gang. They're not giving away nearly enough money to the people who need it. By the way, giving money or investing money in rocket ships and their passion projects don't count. So in this country, there's a lot of risk that if the rich spend too much money and don't give back. I mean, just think what Elon Musk could do for the housing crisis in San Francisco or the housing crisis in New York. I mean, he could allocate $200 billion to San Francisco and New York for low-income housing. Think what that could do for those cities and for people who don't have resources. And I think the resentment.
Is it a money problem, though? It doesn't seem like the housing problem is a money issue. It seems like more of a policy issue, and the people in charge are maybe more to blame than throwing money at it.
It's everything. Believe me, a couple $100 billion would certainly help, and it is certainly a policy problem, easily fixable. They have to take large chunks of land and approve very dense housing, and they got to build it. They got to pay for it.
Logistically, how is that even possible, though? If, like, everyone always says we need to tax the rich more, and I'm not necessarily saying I disagree nor agree, but they're saying that we need to tax the rich more, they need to give away more money to charity, when in actuality, how much money does Elon have sitting in his JP Morgan checking account? Like, we don't necessarily...
How much money do you think Elon gave away last year?
I have no idea.
Someone here could figure it out, but my understanding is it was something like he built a not-for-profit school for $200 million on the campus of SpaceX for his employees.
Yeah, but isn't he also paying like $400 million a year in taxes? Or it could be more than that.
I don't think he's paying $400. I'm not the expert, but how is he paying taxes? He's not getting income.
But
he's just creating value, so he has nothing to pay taxes on.
You would then suggest that it makes sense for him to borrow against his companies, or like how would he get the money in order to?
I'm suggesting that that we're going to have problems in this country if we have a class of very wealthy people who live extravagant lifestyles and don't contribute enough to society to do good things.
Do you live an extravagant lifestyle?
I live a very comfortable lifestyle.
Where do you draw the line between comfortable and extravagant?
I'm not here to judge how other folks live. I'm saying you asked a question about politics and society, and I'm telling you in this country that if people don't participate, I'm spending a lot of my time and energy helping to teach people about real estate entrepreneurship. I give huge amounts of money to different types of charities and different types of organization. So do lots of other people, tremendous sums of money, the Gates Foundation and Warren Buffett and a lot of these folks do. I think it's important for society that there's a balance, and I'm not for taxing the rich, and I'm all for people being able to enjoy the sweat of their labor and the benefits that they make. But I think we're living in a very dangerous time, and we have to be careful.
I completely agree with you that I think when the rich keep getting so rich and the poor are really struggling to get by, I agree that is something worth addressing. But I'd also tend to think that, my gosh, it's more of a spending problem, and it just seems like
spending problem by who?
Just the entire country. Like when you look at the deficits of like individual states too, it's just it's insane. And even like the California rail line, how many tens or $100 billion that is wasted there. And it just seems like, why tax rich people more when there are so many problems? Like when you ever look at an individual.
The pressure to tax rich people will go down if rich people continue to be responsible members of the community and participate proportionately to whatever needs to be done.
See, I just tend to think that if you were to solve someone's individual problem, let's just say that someone has, they're not saving enough. The first thing you'd look at is how much are you spending? And if the spending is going to be out of control, it really doesn't matter how much money they make, because just as many people are living paycheck to paycheck, making $200,000 as like $70,000. So it's obviously not an income problem, it's a spending problem. So we solve the spending problem first, and then we work on everything else. So it just seems to me like, why don't we solve spending issues and the deficit, then see how much you really need, and then try to bridge that gap?
I'm all for it. Who do I vote for? Tell me who to vote for. I'm all for it.
Wish we had an answer on that.
It's kind of similar to your philosophy on investing in the first place, because you say you don't pay attention to like the macro economy. You just consider on like a day-to-day basis, and what can you do, not even with respect to what's going on out here, to better your position. And I think Graham's kind of saying the same thing with the average person. It's like they can say that I'm not wealthy because Elon Musk has $1 trillion. But in actuality, that's not going to change their financial situation. What will change their financial situation is taking all of that thought, all of that belief, and putting it in their mind of like, how can I make myself better today than I was yesterday?
Anyway, I think that there's a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities for folks, whether it's, on one end, driving an Uber car, or another end, creating a real estate venture or a small business, or it's a great country. We have a lot of ability in order to create new businesses. And I think people who have that entrepreneurial energy and desire we have opportunities for that.
And really quick, I gotta say, something that Jack and I have been trying to do a lot more lately is just to remove the annoyances that quietly waste time and energy, because those things add up fast. The thing is, we're always on the go, we're always trying to get to the next thing, so having a cleaner setup and a little more control in your day really goes a long way, and that is exactly why we absolutely love MagBack. The MagBack Elite case is so much more than just a case. It has the finger loop for a secure grip, side grips that feel great, a pinky pillow for comfort, and a built-in kickstand when you need it.
That is all built to make everyday use way better. And it also just comes with a screen protector, so that's one less thing that you have to worry about.
Then they also have their MagBack 3-in-1 home multi-charger that keeps everything clean and ready to go. You drop your phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch on it at night, and by morning, everything is charged in one place. What I really like about this is that it's not just like a mess of wires that looks awful. I don't have to try to plug and play and which one does what. It's all in one place, and it looks incredibly clean, and it just makes it easy.
I kid you not, Graham and I are genuinely huge fans of MagBack. I use their wallet, I use their phone case, and also on the side of my Tesla screen, I put my phone up there. It is so helpful. Check it out with this footage. I can guarantee if you're on Apple or Android, they have something for you. So if you want to make your setup cleaner and way more efficient, definitely check them out with the link down below, and don't forget to use our code, which is also down below.